Right, boys and girls, after a few weeks of no podcast, we're back, and it's a preview from the Newcastle game. It would have been another show on a weekend just gone, but things came up basically, and yeah, so this is making up for it. We're going to talk what we would have done and preview the Newcastle game this weekend. Andrew is on his way, and until then, I'm joined by Ryan and Glenn. How you doing, guys?
Doing all right. I just have to warn you, since we got off to a late start, my wife is upstairs with a broken ankle and broken foot. So if you hear her text tone, which is this sound.
Oh, you changed it. There you go.
That means I have to go upstairs for a minute. But that's your fault, Ryan. You perpetually late son of a gun. Okay, go ahead.
Well, basically, yeah. First off, I want to get your guys' impressions on Arteta, because there's been a lot of, from a particular people or person, in my case, that after 6 games under Arteta's reign, we're always snagging Arteta off, throwing him under the bus, basically, just for clicks and getting views on his own channel. And that's why I wanted to do a show during the winter break, and get your thoughts on what you're thinking of Arteta and if you have any gripes with him or not. So let's start with you, Ryan.
I'm excited. I definitely am. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't, but there are a few, red flags that are arising. Kind of like how you feel like on like that second or third date. The first date, you're feeling the girl out. You're like, oh, she's hot. She's saying the right things. You might have kissed. Who knows? But then like second or third date, you're like, oh, okay. She, kind of talks a little shitty to the waiter. Oh, I think her dad's a hardcore Republican. So nothing like major yet. Like you're still like, we can work through this, but I definitely have some questions, but I do think he's our guy going forward, and I am extremely excited to have him as our manager or coach. We're gonna call him.
Okay, to take Ryan's brilliant analogy, by the way, I love that. By the third date with my current wife I have now, I knew she was the one. And I feel that way with Arteta. 3 dates in, I was fucking having a blast. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking, but 3 dates in, I knew she was the one. Say hi, honey. Hello, how are you? So my point is, with Arteta, I know he's the right guy since that first fucking press conference. Even in all these awful losses and draws, I see players getting better. I'm seeing positives. Yeah, I see some shit that I don't like, but mostly positives. And, they talk about world-class players and, how they, on the best teams, even world-class players play 110% and give it all they got. And Arteta brings that out in everybody. And so I'm very positive. I don't have any father's a Republican or anything, feelings like that, like Ryan said. I am 100% positive about Arteta.
I mean, she's got to be better than an ex-girlfriend that was just a crazy bitch, and her name is Unai Emery. So.
Oh, my God, yeah. That was like total Tony Soprano fucking.
Yeah.
Oh, yuck.
You dipped your foot in the water for way too long and got frostbite. That's what happens.
Oh, Andrew's here. I love hanging out with Andrew when
it's sprained foot.
Yeah, she's upstairs. She's fine. I love hanging out with you, Andrew, when it's past your bedtime. It's good to see you.
Oh boy!
Bloody hell! I mean, what time do bookies go to bed? Do they? I don't know.
My wife is upstairs sitting on the bed with her broken foot and ankle. She kind of looks like Jabba the Hutt right now. She should have she should have Princess Leia chained to her. It would be perfect. But otherwise, she's doing fine. Obviously, she doesn't watch these.
Does she play with that game on the little round table where there's their little see-through dinosaurs that you have to fight each other and everything, like doing the Millennium Falcon?
No. Ryan, save me. Eventually, my wife's going to hear all this shit I talk about her.
I don't think either Ryan could save you now.
Seriously, dudes, get back to Arsenal.
Oh, yeah, but basically, Andrew, I was asking guys was their initial thoughts on Mikel Arteta, because obviously my briefing was basically there's a certain person out there and other channels that have and other people that have Twitter that are already on Arteta's back, and I don't get it. The guy's been in the job; he inherited a bloody mess. Consider that Emmy left behind, and we're going to get onto him in a minute in his comments.
Oh boy.
Yeah, just want to get your initial thoughts on his month and a half in the job.
Well, I hate the Lego-headed freak, to be perfectly honest. But no,
everything is
in all seriousness, I mean, obviously, I did a podcast last week, and just on this exact subject. It's just ridiculous that people are on his back already. At the time, it was 41 days. So what's about? Yeah, it's still about 48 days. He's been in the job, and he's not had enough time to even sort of press his own philosophy on the team yet. Hopefully, you might have had a bit more of a chance over the last couple of weeks to do that. But if you can't see the instant results that he's had in the way that the team are functioning, obviously it hasn't quite turned out into the results yet. But if you can't see how much better we are as a team, then I don't know what you are looking at, really. You haven't got a clue about football, to be perfectly honest, because it's just obvious for all to see. He's building foundations to build from, and the foundations are a stronger defence. And the better way of playing that we have in regards to the distances on the pitch, the way that the partnerships are being built up on the pitch, and just a lot more cohesion. And the rest will come. And I'm very, very confident of that, one day, very soon, we're going to give a team a good idea and we're going to move on from there. And our results will pick up. But he can't legislate for a lot of the stuff that he's had to deal with as well. The sendings off, the injuries that he's had, the complete lack of form from Lacazette, the fact that he's got Ozil, who is shit in the pitch. So, I mean, there's a lot he's got to deal with. But overall, you cannot be anything but really optimistic and impressed as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, can I just add to this? Ryan, we are not going to get everybody to agree on everything. If you say the sun sets in the east, sunsets in the west and rises in the east, you're going to get people that argue over that. There's people that don't believe we landed on the moon.
The Earth is flat. You didn't know that?
No, I didn't know that. You've been hanging out with your
goddamn
girlfriend.
pen is blue.
But seriously, Ryan, we're not going to herd all these millions of cats in one direction. So all I'm saying is, don't get too upset that some people are on our tennis case, because we all look at shit differently. But
the question is, are you surprised? Are you surprised? There's people.
No, I'm not surprised.
Yeah,
you can't be surprised.
That's the deal with this fan base. I'm not surprised at all.
I mean, we had people arguing whether Arsene Wenger should have a statue. Come on. What is there to argue about that? Come on. It's like a teenage girl. They just find drama in everything, even where there is none. Give me an effing break. I'm sorry. Now I'm getting myself angry. Where's my wife's shitty drink? Go ahead.
Yeah, I also don't think people realize how hard it is to, like, for instance, like have to mess around with your subs when, like, you have sendings off, when you have injuries, which is what, 5 of his first however many games he's played. He's had to deal with that. He's had to deal with, going to a plan B and potentially going to a plan C or D, which we don't know. But I think he should be, commemorated for that. I think it's good. It's a good step forward. I mean, yeah, like I said, you came a little late, Andrew. I do have a couple, I don't want to say issues, because I do think they could definitely get resolved, but I'm sure we'll talk about some of my issues going forward. But yeah, there's still a couple red flags that I think should be addressed. And
please don't get me wrong. I mean, I have some things I don't like. I'd like to see more of Caballos, however you say his name, and he's come off the bench the last 2 games, if I'm correct. I'd like to see him start. So, I'm not like, whatever you do, Arteta's fine with me. I'll say something, but I support him 100%, and I'm very happy with him.
And that's all I really want is the fans to at least support him, not literally see one little gripe and then jump on his back. It's the way I see it is, say we'd gone for Jurgen Klopp years ago, but in the same
I wish.
Oh boy,
I love Klopp in Dortmund. So,
would they really expect them to come in in a situation that Arteta's come in and click their fingers and everything to be hunky-dory in 5 minutes, 5 minutes being walking the door?
Some people just like to watch the world burn, and that's how I feel like with most of the Arsenal fans. They just want to see misery. They want to see pain. I don't. They're into that kind of thing. There's a separate section in Pornhub for that, so it's a thing. So I don't get it. I'll never understand it. But some people, like I said, some people just don't want us to do well, but yet they support the team, and they're on like the Reddits, the Twitters, and just all the social medias, and just poking the bear, so to speak. So.
What I also see is with a certain person who had a falling out with a few weeks ago, just be negative for the sake of being negative to get views on his channel, so he can make more money because he's not making lots. Let's just be honest, but still, it just agged me. I tried doing it privately. He literally unfollowed me. And he ignored me. So I went public with it, and he did what he did, as everyone has seen. And he threw himself up. He fucked up basically, and he's into it now.
You know what, Ryan? Just eliminate things in your life that annoy you. Don't go fighting with like that. It works for me. It doesn't work with a wife and kids.
I'd be single if that was the case, Glenn. I don't know.
Blatant honesty from the bottom right. Ryan, seriously, just cut it out, man. Don't bother with it.
I've noticed. He did once he said what he said and threw himself under the bus and got all the hate from other people. I was just like, okay, I'll sit back and leave him to it.
Yeah, you just back up. That's it.
Yeah,
the car fully run him over.
And I don't know. And by the way, I don't know who you're talking about. I don't want to know who you're talking about. So, what were we talking about?
It's half of the Arsenal fan base, just all summed up into one person.
Yeah, and I was about to move on to basically during this winter break. I keep saying winter break because it's not really a winter break, but it's not even go there.
Winter lull.
Yeah. Emery's had a few words to say about his time at Arsenal.
Do we have to?
He's brought it up. We've got there's Arsenal fans in, no matter what people say. We are Arsenal fans, and just chew the fat on it. And what we think, was he right or was he wrong to say what he said, and was he right and wrong with what he said? We'll start with you, Andrew. Do you think it's just bitterness coming from Emery now? Because the things he's saying,
it's a pure self-defensive mode. He's just purely gone into self-defensive mode because he wants to get another job. So he's just telling a load of porcupines. But the thing is, it's completely transparent. Everything he's saying, that it's just so obviously fake. There's a few points that are the case, but on the vast majority of everything he said is just CYA. Cover your ass. That's what he's trying to do. Go on a PR relations exercise because he's worried that he might end up at Yeovil Town, because no one else will hire him. So he's just trying to put all the blame on everyone else and not take any of the blame himself. Personally, I think Yeovil's too good for him. He's a complete dickhead and I want to smash his face in.
bloody hell.
Jeez, how do you follow that? Some of the things he said, you could honestly debate. But, the stupid ass examples he gave, like we finished 1 point behind Tottenham. Give me a fucking break. It's because you fucked up the last 4 games with your lineup selection, you dickhead. So, he's just job hunting. He's just trying to, clean up his resume. I guess that $6 million he got when he left Arsenal is running out now. Fucking ungrateful bitch.
I think it's a mix of two. I think he's job hunting, and I think he also is a little surprised that he didn't get any suitors to come his way when he got let go. He thought, I managed for a big club in Arsenal, so he expected probably some offers, and I bet you he didn't get any, or maybe ones like Yeovil Town that he wouldn't go near. But I think it's why he's doing all these. This
PR. Yeah, exactly. He crashed out at the last 2 big clubs that he managed. And like Andrew said, he doesn't want to wind up.
If Ozil can drive you out of a club, you shouldn't have a job anywhere near like the top 5 of Europe.
At the end of last season, the way he glossed it up, that is just pathetic.
Yeah.
What a pathetic man. Well. We only finished 1 point behind Tottenham, 5th place. Fuck off, you prick. We should have finished about 10 points ahead of Tottenham. That's the thing. Yeah. We had 3rd in our hands.
Yeah.
And if that is like everyone could see.
I don't know what's worse, Emery talking about that, or I can't even remember the fucking guy's name. Pochettino talking about how the legacy he left at Tottenham was finishing ahead of Arsenal a few times,
Ugh.
and the 0
Oh, no.
trophies.
Only-
Small man
well, they
mentality.
won the Aldi Cups. Give them a break. But yeah,
That's
it's
true.
just
They did. I forgot.
but the way he said that is just so pathetic, and everyone can see through that. You know, anyone that's got a pair of eyes that knows anything about football and the way that we played in that cup final, where our lives depended on that cup final, and Chelsea didn't really have to win it because they'd already qualified for the Champions League. And the way that we just turned out that second half, I mean, absolutely pathetic and a joke. And if he can't see, and if people can't see the fact that we finished 1 point behind Tottenham, and that's supposed to be good after the position we were in 6 games to go of the season. Oh, just give me a break.
You know, it's funny
Seriously.
when I was doing my disc that I apologize for not being on the podcast yesterday, but I originally was gonna write my game to forget the game of Baku, the Europa League final. But then I realized, like, okay, I don't really remember the ending, and I got like pretty wasted because I was at the Arsenal bar, one of the Arsenal bars in Connecticut, to watch. So I was like, yeah, fuck it. I ended up changing it to some other fucking Chelsea game back in the day. But yeah, that's definitely a night to forget for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because when I saw these quotes that you were saying about that into this, how Arsenal was on a decline for the last 2 years before he came along, and he came along and fixed up, and his words sort of fixed everything, and this, that, and the other. They had improved. As you said, Andrew, going into the what was it? The way before we went to that Dubai week. That week we went away to Dubai. We had a week after we went to Dubai. We were in third. It was in our hands. It was ours to lose, and we came back.
I lost.
Won the first leg against Napoli. Knocked out Napoli, and then literally after Napoli onwards, it was clear to anyone, not even just Arsenal fans, he was putting everything in the Europa League basket. Because you look at the squads that he picked for Europa League, going to the semi-finals and the final. You compare it to the squads he was picking against Crystal Palace at home, Everton away. El Neni was suddenly getting in the team out of nowhere, and it backfired on him. I mean, Chelsea. Look at that final. Chelsea didn't even really try. It was just effort. It was just not everything effortless. It was just like, yeah, whatever. And they, as you said, they didn't need to win that final. If all the pressure was on, and it's just a thing. And if he had really improved us, we would have won that final. Because even under Wenger in these last few years, when the pressure was on us for the whole cup final, yeah, we went 2-0 down, but we came back and won that. Following year, 4-0 against Villa. And in 2017, odds totally against us. No one gave us a prayer. And we beat Chelsea 2-1 in the cup final. Yet he's along for 9 months in a job. When the pressure's on us to win that final because he's fucked up in the league.
Well, I said this. I was on his back from about halfway through last season. I don't know if you all know that. And I said he was a head coach. He wasn't the manager. He was a head coach. And we progressively got worse and worse throughout the season. I mean, how does that work if you're a good coach?
From Southampton away onwards, he had a thing in place. It was going well. In the Southampton away game, after that, he just threw everything out the window. And it was like 1 week to the next. You don't know what was going to turn up.
Well, I did a podcast before the Europa League final, and I said this is our most important game for probably maybe the last couple of decades, even over and above the Champions League final. Because at that stage, we all thought, and the way we were playing, even if we lost that Champions League final, another one would come along at that time because of the way we were playing, the great team we had, etc., etc. So this Europa League final was so important for so many reasons, and most importantly, financial. And I said before the Europa League final, if we don't win that and we don't get into Europe, the Champions League, we're fucked as a team. Now we're in even worse position because of him, because of how long he stayed this season. And if we don't get any European football next season, and there's some Arsenal fans that quite openly are saying, I'll quite happily forego Europe next season because it'll just let us concentrate on the league. But I tell you now, if we lose another 40 million quid from our income for next season, we're going to be in the dire straits, really dire straits. Okay, and I've listened to a couple of podcasts today about that fact, coincidentally, and they've just backed up my fact that we are going to be seriously buggered financially if we don't even make Europe next season. Really bad.
Real quick, because I don't like grave dancing, but Unai Emery forced me to do it. I understand. I try to look at both sides when there's an argument or a debate, and it must have hurt Unai when players came out and said, "Hey, shit's a lot better right now." It's hard to not respond to that, but you have a right to speak out about it, but you don't have a right to what the facts are. And the facts are, you did a shitty job here, and you left us in a bad state.
And he called the fans out too, which to me, like I completely agree with what you're saying. Like if I'm in his shoes, I'm definitely gonna come out, defend myself, because he's definitely public enemy number one in London for the most part. But to call the fans out and said like the fans are the reason why he got fired, like something's just like you said, like something's just like don't add up, and you're just like, all right, now you're just fucking with us, and it's like why?
He's embarrassed himself. He come out to try and defend himself, like you said, Ryan, and he's just embarrassed himself and made himself look even more foolish than he actually is, to be perfectly honest. So, fuck him. I hope he don't get a job. Stupid. I hope he's homeless.
No, I hope the scum pick him up, or some team that we really don't like. Just give him a chance. Screw their club up.
I mean, they took George Graham a few years after he left, but I've got my own theories on why he went there. Anyway, but I'm going to get into that now. But that's the one. Before we get into Newcastle, the one other, as Glenn touched on before, there's our fan base arguing over whether Wenger should have a statue, and then George Graham gets mentioned, and it all has a meltdown. They're both managers had a huge part in our history at the moment.
Yeah,
George Graham, for what he did, he came in from. He was a club legend as a player. He went off, got his experience as a coach, came to Arsenal in our darkest moment, and rejuvenised us. But invested in the youth, but important little gems in like your Winterburns, your Dixons, your Steve Bowles, etc. And then we went on to have that spread of success. And then in that time, he got caught out amongst others, but he was one thrown under the bus. And then we had that Unai Emery time of Bruce Rioch for that 1 year, and then Wenger came along, and then he just took us to another level. I'd personally say that both deserve a statue just for what they did for the club. Not just
I don't even know why I honestly don't even know why it's discussion, because I feel like the people that are arguing against Wenger getting a statue are the people that probably want an Ozil statue, or an Aaron, I'm sorry, Glenn, I'm sorry to say it, but they probably want an Aaron Ramsey statue too. I
love Aaron Ramsey.
I know, that's why I apologize for I said that, but it just I don't like. I read it and I'm like, okay, cool, and I literally was like, next. I don't even like if they didn't make a statue for him, it's fine. Like, I mean, granted, I'm from America, so I it's a little different. I'm not like there, but I didn't really like think about it too much. I was like, like it'd be nice if they gave it to him, but if they didn't, I'm not gonna like write a fucking 200 word tweet about how much this club sucks either. It is what it is. But some of these people, man, they got balls, and I just don't understand why this is even an argument. Like you said, he brought our club to like the next level, and he needs to be,
And even George Graham did that when he.
Even George Graham, for sure.
Yeah,
I love George. I love George.
And there's a select few that are like, I bet you went to Tottenham, and I've stated my reasons why I believe he went there. It was because at the time he believed, and you look at it, he was out of everyone that got caught, he was the one thrown under the bus and outed completely. And I believe at the time our board came out and gave him the vote of confidence that we believe, and then literally sacked him. So this, I think, going to Tottenham was for him a massive FU to the board, not to the club or the fans. He loves the club. Don't get that mixed up, because if you look at him now, since the old board members that were there back in the day have now all moved on or passed on, whatever, he's now been more back integrated into the club, doing like the things up 89, the last May when they did a 30th anniversary thing at the club. He was invited. He was there.
You know what, Ryan?
He was in the crowd the other day. Did you see him with Pat Rice?
Guys, I'm sure you've heard this cliche that time heals all wounds. Both of them will have a statue eventually because it's the right thing to do.
They both deserve it, personally. No matter what your gripes are about their histories, both after Arsenal or in the end of Arsenal for Wenger, what they did for this club, they deserve a statue. End of. If anyone that says any different, you don't know football.
It will change.
You don't appreciate what these people did for us.
Yeah.
goals.
Same as Igor Stepanovs. He's got to have his picture on the side of the stadium, surely. Or along with Mikhail Silvestre.
William Gaddis.
I'm moved. Ryan's
You guys are
unmoved.
making the Ozil statue sound more and more like a real thing now. I'm a little scared.
I'd still rather have an Igor Stepanovs one, to be honest.
Oh my God! If Ozil gets a statue, I want Arshavin to get a statue because I love that fucking little Russian.
Listen, he definitely wasn't our best player.
No, he wasn't. I just loved him.
Mr. Inconsistent. I have his jersey.
Hey, awesome!
Hey, he's called his son or daughter after Arsenal, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember what it is exactly. Arsenia or something like that. I don't know. Can't remember, but something along those lines.
Apparently, he's pretty good. He's young. He's apparently really good.
I'll never forget
he's a cool dude.
I'll never forget that game he had at Liverpool, man. Oh, I fucking love that guy.
I know.
Or the Man United got Man United. We just turned to score. Belts. That's a shot. Goes in. It was when we had that blue pinstripe away kit. Looks to the bench and starts doing that. United are giving it all that for the game.
I think he's still playing somewhere. I'm not sure.
No, he's in fashion now. He's in fashion. He's got his own fashion label and he's a designer.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It was back last summer. He was over here, and he was doing something for some. I think he said for some show or whatever in Russia, but before it involved Arsenal. And after it's all that film, he went down the road to the Tonington, and he obviously
he did.
We've all seen the photos and all that.
Pulling a pint, wasn't he?
Yeah, and he was on Sky the other week, and he was saying he's once a good, always a good. He loves the club, no matter what happened. He still loves the club.
That's awesome.
If we're talking about anyone else too besides Arsenal that maybe can get a statue that will never get a statue, Arsenal through and through, Lucas Podolski. That would make my dream come true.
I thought he was going to be so much better. Oh,
so did I. That left.
I loved him. He's a brilliant striker. He's got.
Banter,
we got rid of him far too early. Early.
The injury is what Wenger gave up on him in the end.
Yeah,
he's still playing now. Still playing.
Still gives Tottenham fans to this day.
He's in Turkey. He's in Turkey now.
I thought he's in. No, isn't he in Japan or China?
No, he's left. He left Japan in January. He's gone to Turkey. So he's still playing. So he had the best left foot you ever see. He's the best finisher. One of the best finishers, honestly, you'd ever see.
Literally had a
one sight of goal, he'll just get it into the postage stamp, no problem. But I mean, the amount of people I'd like to have a statue, you wouldn't be able to actually get to the ground because it'd be like a barricade all the way around the stadium because you wouldn't be able to get through. But I know there's a lot of people. I mean, people like Rosicki, I loved him as well, and I could go on and on for ages.
Again,
but Rocastle's got to have one. That's
definitely get one.
100%. I know he's got the picture on the side of the stadium, but he needs a statue definitely as well.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, it's hard to do so many statues, but even get stands named after some of these guys that definitely deserve it. So you got, I think, definitely something, but
100%.
Yeah, looking forward now. Got that all to put one side. Newcastle this Sunday. Are we confident going into this game, or are we a bit nervous, even though we're at home?
I'm confident. I respect Newcastle. They're doing some good things, but I'm confident, and I wouldn't say that, except I have confidence in our manager, and he's had they've been in Dubai, but I mean, he's had 2 weeks, people, refreshed. I think we're going to kick their asses 3-1.
I want to be confident because I've been confident the last few games, but we ended up drawing. So, I definitely think we're going to win. They for a while, they weren't scoring any goals, but recently they're kind of on form. They're starting to score, but I don't know. Their defense is they're constantly changing their defense around. And Dubravka is actually a really good goalie, but I definitely see us winning. I mean, again, it depends how well they did in Dubai and how well, because I think too, going to Dubai and training, it kind of also brings the team together. Not only training for fitness and tactical stuff, but it should totally bring the team together. And I know I'm a sucker for social media, but I was watching some their videos and the shitty pranks that David Luiz pulling at some of the players. It would piss me off. Yeah, it would piss me off. But I mean, so it's looking good. We'll see.
I'm sorry. You sounded confident till the very end there.
Yeah.
It's looking good.
Yeah, I say that.
Yeah, it's looking great. I think I might get a 1-1.
I build myself up, and then I see the Kentucky 11, and I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
you
okay,
kind of
and then-
made it there at the end.
Oh.
It's the other side
I
of your
think-
brain kicking in.
On one hand, I think this could be the one game where we can really try and kickstart something where we can, like a decent win, like a 3-0, 3 or 4-0 maybe. But they've got the same amount of points as us, and
Yeah, exactly.
they're not. I mean, they've got the same amount of points as us, but
Only
they
10
had
goal
a.
difference.
It's like having a 100 meters race, but they had a 50 meters head start. Because of the way we were left with him, or he just I don't know. But I do think we'll win, and I'm really, really hope. I'm not going to say we are, but I'm hoping that we might be that really good win that we need to kickstart the rest of the season. So I'll go for a 3-0.
If we get into the next Sunday, do you think these next 3 games for us are critical
9
where we
points.
finish this season?
9
100%.
points.
I still think, and I know people. I still think we've got more of a chance. I don't think we've got much of a chance at all. But I think the best chance of getting into the Champions League still is clawing back the 10 points in the league because of how shit everyone else is and how inconsistent everyone else is, rather than winning the Europa League. Well, I'd say that it's just as good a chance as winning the Europa League, getting the 4th spot, and because we're 10 points off 4th. So it's not. We've got 13 games left. And with the way everyone else is performing, there's very little chance. I'm not stupid, but people think we've got quite an easy chance of getting all the way to the final and winning the Europa. I don't think that at all. Mikel Arteta's never managed a team before, let alone a Europa League campaign. So it's not going to be as easy as people think. So I think we still need. What I'm trying to say is we still have to concentrate on the league as well. We can't just throw the league.
Yeah, it's
Exactly.
definitely
So
not
we've got to go for it. We've got to go for it. And yeah, exactly.
I
Exactly.
agree with you. Look how Manchester United caught fire last year. I'd agree more with you, Andrew, if we won instead of drawing 2-2 against Chelsea that last game. But I mean, I still see the opening you're talking about. And didn't you place a bet, like a $20 bet, that we would finish in the top 4?
I did, yeah. A tenner, yeah. A few weeks.
Oh, a tenner.
Well, about 3 weeks ago. 33 to 1.
Oh wow!
So
nice odds.
Actually, do like
At the end of the day, it's still possible. So I'm not going to give up on it until the fat lady sings. Until
I do think we have the talent and the workforce. But I don't know if that'd be the right word. Like we could do it.
Squad. It's called a squad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just like the work ethic that Arteta is putting into us. I think. I know the work ethic alone. I think we could do it. Hopefully the fitness picks up a little more. We'll see. But some of the things that he's doing, which are some of my red flags, I think that he's doing, are not going to get us in the top 4. Like example 1, playing Ozil week in and week out, which I have my own theory about that, which I think I've said on your podcast, Andrew. Just I think he's giving the rope to hang Ozil. I think he does not trust Ozil. I think he just wants him to literally hang himself. But
I also think there's a big part of it is having him in the shop window as well. So
no, go ahead, Andrew.
So someone might actually buy him if he's playing. If he can find some kind of form, then it may be tempt some club to buy him in the summer. But you're exactly right. He's given him an ample chance to prove himself, and he's failed. He's failed dramatically.
I don't think he wants. I think he wants him gone. I think he doesn't want him. I think he wants to literally have him hang himself, and he wants someone to be like, yeah, he can make some kind of couple passes. Like, let's bring him to the MLS. Let's bring him to fucking Turkey. Let's bring him to this. I mean, or it could just be that he's just behind rose-colored glasses and he just sees Ozil as his friend and his buddy and his pal and his drinking buddy, and he's like, I gotta play him. It's my boy.
I can't believe you guys are making me defend Ozil a little bit, and it really annoys me because I gave up on him after.
Can you cut him off, Ryan? Cut him off now.
Shut the fuck up, old man. Go yell at some kids on your front lawn. with the fact that I ditched Ozil
La la
after
la 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 la. Sorry, go on.
I ditched Ozil after Baku. I deserve that, Andrew. I ditched Ozil after Baku, but Arteta said that he wants to, and I'm gonna use my gag reflex here. He wants to build a team around Ozil, and I don't believe this is like some mafia thing where they're patting him on the back and there's a hit arranged, tomorrow. I believe Arteta when he says that. I don't think it's any of the things that Bottom Ryan or Andrew are saying. I'm sorry, and thanks for making me defend him, jerk.
But, all right, so do you think he's playing? Like, when I kind of first started getting my opinion out there and podcasting and all this, I was Ozil's biggest fan. Ozil was my favorite player growing up. When he came into the World Cup squad of 08 for Germany, I was in love. And when he came to Arsenal, I was like, holy shit, I'm in love. I'm going to get married. I'm going to get married. And then just like the last couple of years, it's like my crazy ex-girlfriend that I want nothing to do with. Get her out of here. And it's just, seeing my ex-girlfriend every day. It's just like those memories and I just get out of my life. So I've been to hell. I've been to hell and back. So, but I heard him say that too, that he wants to build an Ozil, but it makes me question Arteta's sanity at that point, because you can't say Ozil's been one of our better players since he came back. Honestly, he's probably the one player in our squad that I could probably say hasn't really improved since Arteta's came back. Yeah, he plays more, but his passes are he puts more weight in his passes, so he's overshooting his whoever his target. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. We'll see.
Look, I think all I'm saying, one sec, guys. All I'm saying is, yeah, it's a possibility what you two guys on the bottom are saying, sure. But I would rather believe that Arteta's being honest with us. That's all I'm saying.
He's also.
I think it's sad just to watch his decline, though, isn't it?
Yes,
it's really
absolutely.
Sad to watch him
I love Ozil.
Now, and when Arteta came in, I've got no doubt that he thought, because let's face it, let's put the facts on the table. Ozil is the best player at Arsenal, technically. He should be, shouldn't he?
Right.
He's got the most talent. So there's no. And when Arteta came in, he's probably thought, he's played with him before, he knows him, he's friends. He probably thought that he could be the one to get him his form back. And if we had an Ozil that was the same as what he was in the 15-16 season, then we'd all be fucking happy, wouldn't we? And he probably thought that he could be the man to bring that out of him again, but it's failed. So but one thing is, I've got no doubt that Arteta has got enough confidence in himself and enough authority to drop him, and I think he will. I honestly think he will drop him because he's not producing. And
I'm not even trying to get this whole Ozil out, Ozil in debate. I really don't. My thing when I think what it boils down to watching him play, he's just old. He's 31. Yeah. He's too old. He's getting up there in age. He's not getting any younger. Sometimes your skills do diminish. It happens. It's a thing. So I'm not, gonna curse him on his way out. I'm not gonna, I had 2 of his jerseys. It's upsetting.
I agree. If he wants to be a superstar again, he should go over to the MLS. He'll dominate. But
I'll watch him play.
I'll watch him play too. I'll hope that
United?
he goes.
I hate DC United. I'll buy his jersey.
I would hope that the Red Bull.
Well, if you guys listen to the Handbrake Off podcast, that the Athletic one, that's Amy Lawrence and James McNicholas, it's on. I don't know if you listened to that, but there's a new one out today. It's all about Dennis Bergkamp. But for a which was really good listen. But for a portion of the show as well, they discussed Mr. Ozil, and Amy Lawrence said, she had a look back about, a few days ago at the season that Ozil had when we should have won the league, when Leicester won the league, we came second. And she looked at what Ozil was doing that season. And it sort of leads me on to what I just said before, how sad it is to watch his rapid decline in front of our eyes. Because that season, he was incredible. He scored, I think it was 6 goals and had 19 assists, that season. But his play was phenomenal. And it is really sad to see that we still got this guy, but he just can't do it no more. So anyway, he's had the run in the team that I wanted him to have, because I want to give everyone a fair crack, and you need, that run just to get your form, just to get your fitness, your match fitness, and he's had that now, and I'm glad that he's had it, but he hasn't performed, and he doesn't deserve his place in the team. I'm sorry, and Willock is nowhere near the player that Mesut Ozil was, or Mesut Ozil was, but he is far more effective to the team with what he can produce overall.
He's
too young. In a completely different way.
Too young.
I'm not to listen. Glenn, let me finish. In his own way, he creates havoc in the other opposition half. He's far more athletic. He runs with the ball. Mesut Ozil don't run with the ball no more, and he has a shot, and he creates havoc within their defence. I'm not saying he plays every week, every game, week in, week out. He can alternate with the other players we've got in the squad, but every now and then Ozil is taking the place of these players, these young players who could be playing in the Premier League and building up their experience and becoming better players. And Ozil is taking that space now in that team, and they deserve it more.
All right.
I'll tell you what, next season, Smith Rowe has got a very, very good chance of taking that position if we don't buy anyone big. And I don't think we will buy anyone big. He is, and you see the quality he's got.
Okay.
And he's strong. And we need to go that way. Just one more thing, Gil, then I'll let you get on. That team you were talking about, Ryan, under George Graham, when he brought in Steve Bold and Dixon, Winterburn, and he brought through all the young players.
Newcastle, Merson.
I thought that said Trump for a second. I was about to say, get him out of here.
Are you done now?
He brought through all the young players. Now we need to do that again. That's what I'm going to say. We need to do that again and rebuild from the start and start building up the experience. Fucking hell, put your hat back on.
Yeah. Can hear you even without my headphones on. Are you done?
Right, I'm turning my mic off now. You can fuck off.
Yeah, I see the pillow behind your head. What are you in a hospital room?
He's relaxing.
I'm in bed. I'm going to fall asleep in a minute. I'm knackered. It's on a 12-hour shift.
Listen, I'm just going to address one thing you said, okay? Willock. He's too young. He's got mistakes in him. He needs to go on loan. Thank you for making me defend Ozil again by saying I would take Ozil over Willock any day. Willock needs to go out on loan and make his mistakes for somebody else. Sorry, Andrew. No way. And Ryan, you too.
No chance.
Sorry.
I actually agree with that. I think Willock needs to go out on loan, but I still think he's better than Ozil. I think
we need him.
I've said this on multiple podcasts. We need to create chaos in the midfield. We don't do that. We need to do that. We kind of had that with Ramsey a little bit, and we're kind of starting to with Guendouzi, but with Guendouzi, he's doing it in the mental game. He's winding fans up. He's winding players up, and I fucking love it. We need actual runners skill technically and just shooting. And Willock does do that. He does have a nice shot from the outside. He does shoot. He can carry the ball. He's quick. Granted, yeah, I agree. He makes mistakes. He does need to go out on loan. But as for right now, we need him. I guess for this season, and then maybe buy a player in the summer that could that's maybe a little more ready. But yeah, I think he's better. It's sad for me to say this. We need him more than Ozil right now.
I'm not going to argue with
if we don't make Europe. If we don't make Europe, we can kiss goodbye to Upamecano. We can kiss goodbye to Jack Grealish and all these dreams of buying these players. I'm telling you now, we would have to start fresh with the youngsters that we've got. As simple as that. We won't be able to afford anyone.
I wish we did that.
Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but that's going to be the case. I
wish we had when we had gotten Emery. I didn't want him hired to begin with. Let me preface that. But when we got him, I wish we almost weren't in Europa and kind of had to. It's tough because I don't think he was really good with our youth. But we needed to build the youth. We needed to just send the youth in, do their due diligence, almost like when you're in the army, you have the first line that you're just get the fuck out of here. Send the fucking first troops in. They kind of some survive, some can get their legs blown off. It's war. It is what it is. But we needed to go through that, and I think with the club, we kind of wanted to take the shortcut because we're a big club, and we wanted to kind of just oh yeah, we'll play some youngsters. We're in Europa, it kind of sucks, but we're gonna find a way to the top because we're Arsenal Football Club. And I kind of bought into that a little bit. Now it's kind of yeah, you're right. Maybe we don't need to go through a full rebuild, but we do. And I think Emery kind of set us back even more, so it's going to be even tougher for Arteta. But I think I'm happy. I'm positive. I think we could do well. I just think we need to loan out the right guys, but on top of that, we need to bring in the right guys as well.
Okay, full rebuild. I don't agree with that. I think we are a quality midfielder and defender away from top 4.
So what we're going to do when we send Martinelli and Saka out on loan and Guendouzi, Glenn?
Well, we're going to riot if they send Martinelli on loan.
So, but they're younger than Willock. So what you think Willock's too young?
Oh, don't compare 18-year-old. Isn't it time for your sponge bath, old man? I'm not comparing Willock and Martinelli. Come on.
No, you said he's too young. I'm just trying to make a point.
All right. Well, here's my point. Okay, you say let Aubameyang go. You let Aubameyang go. Hey, I have to listen to you yell, and you can listen to me. If you're telling me, let Aubameyang go and throw an 18-year-old in his place, I say no way. He's too young. All right, but I'm not going to buy Willock in such an important position. No, I'm not going to buy that over Ozil. I'm not going to buy. Why do you keep making me defend him? I hate Ozil. I don't hate him. I just think he's not right for the team.
I just caught an 8-pounder.
Jesus. Oh my God. Oh, he's 18. Everybody who's 18 is the same. No.
Still going.
Oh, that was such an unfair.
He's reeling you in, Glenn. He's reeling you in.
Yeah, I know. He knows how to get me going, son of a.
I'm going to need a bigger boat.
He's like my wife, but she has more hair. Oh my God.
Don't you think, Glenn, though, maybe between now and summer, he's working, obviously, as Ryan's also said as well, and Arteta's working out who's going to be good enough going forward next season. And obviously, if he doesn't believe, after a few games, come May, he's like, I said at the time about Ozil building a team around him. It's not going to work out. We need to move on. Don't you think between now and then, especially with the amount of games we've got, because we're still in the Europa League, we've still got the FA Cup as well, possibly a quarter final if we get past Portsmouth. To blood, not throw him in, but blood him in, but also use Danny Ceballos as well.
Yes.
And things like blood him in. And if he bloods him, if it does look like it's going somewhere, give him and obviously come next season, use the pre-season as well to let him make that position his position going into the new season.
Look, Ceballos, I just read an article on him a few hours ago where he said he had a choice between Liverpool and here, and he chose us easily because he just thought he'd be a forgotten man on the bench. Use him. He's happy to be here. He loves that the supporters are cheering his name. You know what he said? He said, it's like I've been here 10 years the way they chant my name. I love it. Play the man, for crying out loud.
I want to see him play. I think his heart's in Madrid.
The reason why
did you hear my thoughts on that? On my podcast last week, I think it was.
That 2-hour rant?
Went on my 2-hour rant.
By yourself? That 2-hour rant by yourself? I was.
Did you hear what I said though about that?
No, he didn't. You don't remember? Glenn tried coming on the podcast like 3 or 4 times. He couldn't hear you.
Yeah, but he was supposed to be watching. Yeah. No, but I think it's all political. I honestly think it's all political because of the remarks he made in the press. He said he wanted to drop a bomb on the new camp, and Arteta's from that region. And I think he's taking offence, and I don't think they get on personally. And I think he's just making a political stance about it. To be perfectly honest,
I never heard of that. I'm sorry. I heard that story. How long ago did that happen? I'm writing it down to look it up after the show.
Oh, he wrote it in the press about 2015. But he's made a few remarks again since.
Okay.
Yeah, he's made a few remarks again since, but he is really against the Catalans and the Basque people, which way around it is now. Which of the baskets they fall in the new camp. But anyway, he said about blowing up the new camp and killing all the bastards within it, or something along those lines.
Yeah, he's ruthless. Yeah,
I think that because obviously Arteta's from there, I think he just doesn't like it.
Did he apologize?
Don't think so.
No, he didn't apologise. No.
Uh-oh.
Because
And
if it
he's basically
Glenn Ceballos boner just flattened out. What are we gonna
I
do?
love him. I think he's perfect for our team, and I wish he was playing. But I think that's the reason why. I don't think it's a
Okay.
football reason.
I think if we bought him, I know that's like weird, it's because of the whole thing, but I think if we bought him, different story. The fact that he's on loan, his heart's definitely still in Madrid. He was also in, I don't know if it's the same interview or something like that. He was quoted saying how he loves because Zidane told him that he follows Arsenal, he watches his games, and he's like so happy that Zidane's paying attention to him. Like, to me, it's like his heart is still in Madrid. He's playing for us. I'm sure he loves the fans. How we made a song for him. Cool, awesome, whatever. His heart is in Madrid. He's focused on playing well enough here so he can make the team in Madrid. I don't want to be nobody's fucking stepping stone. If he can work for us, cool. Let's make him work. Maybe even talk about buying him. I think he could definitely fit in our club. But when someone's talking about how Madrid this, Madrid that, like, cool, I don't really care. And then on top of it, saying,
the way I look at that, real quick, Andrew,
agree.
then you can yell for 10 minutes, Andrew. Just wait 1 second. As far as he goes, where's he going to play in Madrid next year? Nowhere. Stay here. Do your bit for us. If you're using us, fuck it. I don't care. Sorry. All right, Andrew, go ahead.
I don't think he'll get in the team under Zidane, personally.
No, he won't.
He probably won't.
Anyway, but the point I was going to make is 2 or 3 months ago, his heart wasn't in Madrid. He was here. You could see him. You could see him on the pitch. You could see him when he was a sub, the way he's running onto the pitch and celebrating. He was he was converted to Arsenal. He actually said, what was those remarks saying? I was coming here thinking it was a smaller club than Madrid. It's not. Or your words to that effect. He loved the place.
One other quick thing. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Andrew. In that same article I read, he told Unai Emery, I want to play every game. I don't care what frigging game it is. And he got hurt because of that. He said he played too many games and he realized he was too overambitious to play. He told Unai, I want to play everything. I don't care what game it is. I want to play. And he played like 17 games in a row. I don't remember that stat, but I do remember him saying that in the article I read. So I think his heart is here. And even if it's not, go ahead, use and abuse us for another year and a half, 2 years, because I think you're freaking talented.
I hope he proves us wrong. I really hope he plays more. I hope he fucking shuts all of us up. I think he can be really good. But I don't know. His time is running out. So it's not looking great.
I do think what would help him, as we've touched on, is if he did publicly come out, even if he doesn't mean it, but publicly as a professional, come out and apologise for what he said in the past. He's grown up.
He won't. He's a very strong-willed man.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that might even look bad if he comes out 5 years later. It's like, people would be like, what is he talking about? And they look it up like, oh, fuck, this guy's a bad guy. Get him out of here.
Well, if it was go ahead, Andrew.
Sorry, go on.
If it was 3 years ago, if it was 3 years ago, he was 20. If it was 5 years ago, he was 18. No offense to Bottom Ryan if you're this age, but you don't know what the fuck you're saying at 18, 20, or even 23.
I am honored. You think I'm that young?
When you're that fucking young, you think you know everything and you know shit, and you do and say stupid shit all the time. So I'm not going to hold it against him, although I wish he would apologize.
I got I'm a little hard. You thought I was that young. Thank you.
No, he's a very strong-willed man. He's known for that in Spain, and he will speak his mind. And there's no chance on earth, because that's what he believes. He hates that region, and he will stand by it. So there's no chance of him doing that. They'll just have to come to some other way of getting a truce. But like you said, I'm just worried that the time is running out, Ryan, because I'd love him to stay. I'd love him to get a chance, but I don't think he will now. It's a real shame. I think it's a wasted opportunity.
What hasn't helped, though, is during the transfer window in January, it came out that he was asking Madrid to take him back and send him somewhere else. That hasn't helped. Because of Euros in the summer. He wants to play for Spain in the summer. And if he's not playing for us, he ain't going to get in the squad. And he's been making every Spain squad lately. But if he doesn't start playing, and the Spanish national team manager said that if you don't get picked, you don't play, you ain't going to get picked for the summer. So that's what he wanted to go back for. It's not because he hates Arsenal. He just wants to play football. I'm saying that's an healthy situation with the comments he said in the past, and then Arteta was in the job, and then all of a sudden he's saying, come and get me, I need saving. That hasn't helped, sort of thing. But
No, it's purely to do with Spain in the summer.
we say that, but then Giroud doesn't play for Chelsea, and he still gets in the France squad no matter what.
Yeah, because Deschamps was a weirdo.
He does play well for France. I give him credit.
I know, yeah, to be fair to him, but he don't score for him.
France uses him right. Yeah, because they have Griezmann in the link-up play. Yeah.
But it's a different situation with Spain, and he's been getting into the squad, and he's actually been playing for the first team, so I don't blame him for that, but he's just worried for his own space.
Do you think...
So, anyway...
and by the way, real quick, in case we don't touch on this, and I'm addressing this to Ryan in the bottom right. Yes, I love.
Boy.
No. This is nothing bad. I love Aaron Ramsey, but he's making $400,000 a week. I don't want him back at Arsenal because just if he has 2 bad games in a row, it'll be like Ozil 2. You know what I mean? I don't want to deal with it.
Don't ever.
No.
Let me give you one scenario, because I'm going to have to go in a couple of minutes. But let me give you one scenario. If we got him back on a loan with no loan fee,
no
loan fee,
and
only had to pay half of his wage, because the rest was subsidised, what about then?
Yes.
I would.
Go ahead, Ryan. Ryan, you didn't say no enough times.
If he gets injured, listen, Ryan. Listen, Arsprox, Ryan. If he gets injured.
Ryan,
he goes sent back to Juventus.
No!
He gets sent back to
Oh, I pissed off. Oh, did you drop your phone?
I just dropped my phone.
Yeah. It's.
Thank you. I'm all right, folks. I'm all right.
All right.
But that'd be a no-brainer because if you got injured, you go back to Juventus.
Lay down.
On loan, so
lay down again on your pillow. Let out some old man farts. You'll be good.
I am. I'm going to go and clean my teeth and go to sleep. I'm knackered.
Ryan, I only got about 5 more minutes before my wife texts me.
Before we start wrapping it up, do you think
I got about 5 minutes before you hear that for real? That's my new text from my wife, Andrew. I think you weren't here when I told you.
Yeah, do you think Lacazette will be dropped at the weekend? Do you think he'll start again?
Who?
Lacazette. Do you think he'll start? Or
I think he should sit. He's in a slump.
He should sit. He will start though.
I agree.
I think he's gonna, square peg around hole until Lacazette scores. It's just,
I love Lacazette. Player of the year last year. I have not given up on him. But in my book, when you're in a slump like he is, you get set down for a game or two. Get Martinelli in there. Let Alba play up front.
He's just, you could tell too when he's playing. He's as someone who plays football, like when you just haven't scored in a while, you just force it. You do things you don't normally do.
Yes.
You just want to put that goal in to shut everybody up. You're doing too much. He's doing way too much, taking way too many touches. And then when he does shoot it, it's just he's again doing way too much. He's forcing it.
Can I ask you, Ryan, what you don't think Ramsey would fit in, or you don't even want to pay him $200,000? That's too much. Why are you so against it?
I was never a Ramsey fan. I think
fair enough.
I think he only played well for us when he knew he was leaving, and it's kind of like a fuck you to us. Like, hey, this is what you're missing. And he did play well before back in the day, but he's just hurt all the time. I don't want him.
We agree to disagree. Okay, sorry. Go ahead, Ryan. Yeah, Ryan.
Do you think we'll see Mari play in the centre-back role this weekend, or you think maybe he'll be on the bench and eased in sort of? And if so, who do you think he'll partner? Who do you think he should partner?
The more I research him, the more I like him. I wouldn't mind seeing him in there, but the healthy competition for jobs is a good thing.
I think he should play against. I think he should get the start against Portsmouth, and then I think he should. Or if that's our next lower tier game,
Olympiacos.
Oh, okay, that works too. But yeah, I think he should be on the bench and work in slowly.
Then West Ham. But also,
I think he should play, but he won't. But he should partner Luis because they're both exceptionally good with the ball.
Yeah, I want to see him
comfortable. They will be a really, really good partnership, in my opinion. Really good.
Arteta has already written off Papa, so. It's got to be Luis Mari, I think, for me.
But he won't. He won't play, but he should. But I think he'll play against Juventus, and he will play against Portsmouth, hopefully.
Juventus?
Juventus?
Juventus. Where did I get that from? From Ramsey. Bloody Olympiacos, sorry. Olympiacos.
We still need the Champions League in a week.
I was just daydreaming about Ramsey coming back then for a moment.
Oh, don't give me that. I'm gonna
Oh, you're gonna get Ryan all riled up again for Andrew. You're a little instigator, my friend.
Yeah, now I'm the one getting reeled in.
Ryan, I
Anyway,
can't believe I have to go. I'm so sorry.
And me,
guys.
I'm sorry.
Coming on. Glenn, where can people find you?
Glenn DITM, all the usual places. And look in the future. I have an AFTV show with Arsenal America coming around the bend too, but that's in the future, not now.
Glenn, can I ask you something?
Sure.
What's DITM stand for? Am I being thick?
No, you're not being thick. I used to. You might know. I don't know if I ever told you. I hosted a morning radio show for 15 years. I'm retired now, and it used to be something in the morning. You know, Glenn and Friends in the morning or whatever. And when I started doing videos before the accident I had that almost killed me, I was doing dumb videos for my friends on Facebook. And it was Dad in the Morning. Because that was my new time. I'm Mr. Mom, but nobody's laughing. You know what I'm saying? So that's
if
Dad.
I'd have known that your answer was going to take that long, I wouldn't bother asking. But thanks anyway.
You're such a dickhead. All right, guys. Ryan, thank you for inviting me. Ryan, on the bottom, it's always great to talk with you. Andrew, I'll see you guys soon. Okay?
Yeah, take care, mate.
Bye bye.
Ryan, where can people find you as well?
Arse Bros Raincast. We do about monthly shows. We're starting to pick things up. Our boy Manny, Max's imaginary friend, is now doing hot topics, which are great. You guys, everyone should watch. They're awesome. Kind of take one topic and you kind of just peel it back and really get in there and really kind of break it down layer by layer. You can also follow me, Arse Bros Ryan. Yeah, I mean, definitely check out Arse Bros though. It's like drinking with friends and getting really drunk and talking about Arsenal and the occasional.
It's really good.
Dick
I recommend it highly.
And banging up a woman. Yeah, great.
And Andrew, where can people find you as well?
Well, you know, From Dial Square to Where on YouTube, at From Dial Square on Twitter, all the usual places. Please come and watch the shows on Wednesdays. And these two guys were supposed to be on yesterday, but at least I turned up today, eh? I'm joking,
I'm shooting my leg, but I can't lift it up that high. It's all wrapped up.
Hopefully you'll come on again next week or next week or whenever. But yeah, come and join us on the Wednesdays when we go live. Watch the one from yesterday. It's really good fun. Really good fun. I enjoyed it yesterday. Desert Island Discs.
Actually, I watched it. As you know, Andrew, it was something different as well. Apart from a few people in the comments who are saying what they're saying, but hey, that's life.
Idiots.
Typical Arsenal. I still didn't. I have to look at the comments. I listened to the audio part of it. I gotta look at that. That's
there's people in the live streams because Andrew and the guys weren't kicking off over Stan Kroenke and Kroenke out. We're not real Arsenal fans apparently.
Well, we never even mentioned Kroenke's name.
And I did. Okay, I heard you guys talk about it. I was very confused. I'm like, did they bring up Kroenke?
No, didn't even mention his
I was
name.
like, what's going on?
Anyway,
it was just bizarre. And I'm in there to chat, then defending everyone. Like, shut up! We don't have to always go off on one.
I know, bless you.
And
thanks for having me on, Ryan. Really appreciate it. I'm going to have to shoot off.
Yeah,
but
no worries.
Yeah, see you again very soon, both of you.
Yeah, we'll do.
Take care, guys.
And everyone else, I'll be back on Sunday for the review of Newcastle. Hopefully, we'll get a win and stop fucking drawing.
We will.
We're going to win.
Positivity. Positive mental
team,
attitude.
we're going to win.
Come on, you Gunners.
I'm beating the 2020 guys. Let's keep it going.
Yeah, we will.